Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where it's time for another Bridear song, the charmingly named Ghoul. Now, as you guys know, and as you've probably noticed from the video I posted at Ignite, the first Bridear one, we have to do this now. If you want to see the reaction, just done it, so pause this video, go click the link in the description below, and you'll be able to watch the song with me if you want to see my initial reaction when I saw it the first time just a few minutes ago. However, if you've already heard the song, I'm about to give you the review, and so here we go. If you pause this, have you watched the reaction? Have you seen the song? Have you done whatever you need to do before having me review it? Because here it comes. Don't say I didn't warn you. Alright, so Bridear with Ghoul. This one, I think that in a way this was perhaps going for a little bit more of a difficult formula than Ignite, and yet it had the same sort of quality as being full on, really heavy. They loved that having their two lead guitarists. You know, it really kept the consistency of tone with what they are. It's sort of big, heavy, loud. And you know, it really works. I mean, there's no doubt they got a lot of punch, a lot of kick as well. They got a lot of, you know, sort of energy to their sound. So in all those forms it worked. The thing that made this kind of interesting is they went for a more complicated sort of chorus melody. I thought the chorus sounded really really interesting, and like I say, the melody was almost had like a orchestral sort of quality to it. It sounded like something where you can imagine all the instruments being taken away and replaced by a string section, and it's still sounding like it would work fantastically. I think if someone actually did a string arrangement of this, just playing, you know, not adding anything, just playing that arrangement on, like, you know, the prerequisite instruments, then it would actually sound really, really lovely. So yeah, it had, like I say, that weird orchestral quality that sort of metal, or whether you call this hard rock or metal is up to you, often leans towards. And so yeah, that was fantastic. The rest of the song was charging along with a lot of energy, as with Ignite, and I really felt that it was good in that it had a power that was definitely sort of really came across. Like I say, you felt like the kick drums were really kicking, and that was aided by the fact that the double kick was in there, but it wasn't constantly all the time. It wasn't one of those ones where, like I say, if you use double kick too much, then it loses all of its impact, because like any sound, if it's just all the time with no break, then you have no contrast, and with no contrast, there's no reason for it to have impact, is there? So I like the fact that the drummer, she broke things down a little bit in the verses, you know, sort of put spacing between the kick drum. It wasn't just all the time. She used it sparingly. I'd say she used it as much as I would say was about the maximum. I think any more than she had used it would have probably started to detract from its impact. However, you know, the drum beat was really good, really helped underpin everything. And as always, these guys seem to be, well, I say as always, as with both songs so far, these guys seem to be really good at doing really sort of catchy guitar lines. Well, not necessarily catchy, but sort of ones that really, you know, give a certain mood. You can really feel immediately what the mood of the song is. You sometimes get rock songs, you know, hard rock songs or metal songs as well. When they kick in, it takes a little bit of a time on first listen to see exactly what the mood is. You know, but with this, you could tell really quickly that they were going for this sort of big, dramatic. It has a sort of almost overly theatrical quality to it, which is really nice. It sounds sort of hyperbolic, and I like that. I think that's good. If you're going to do something like this, you might as well go for it. You might as well be a bit over the top. And I just liked, like I said, the whole tone of how this was delivered. A couple of pointers, things that I was perhaps not so keen on, not very much, but there were a couple of things that I pointed out, but I want to add one thing that I didn't mention during the video. The singer, I really like her voice. However, in this song, I don't know if it was just the key they were playing it, or the way it was recorded, or the speed, but she sounded a little bit out of breath at points. It sounded, I don't know if that was the style that she was going for, but considering she seems to have quite a powerful voice, I was surprised that it didn't come across quite as powerfully as maybe in Ignite, or as I would have expected, because she sounded a little bit out of breath. And that, like I say, that might just be, you know, I do think it's good when often a lot of producers and mixers, they take out the sound of the breathing from the record. I actually kind of like it when it's left in. It adds a sort of a natural feel to it. You really can feel the energy and the passion of the singer. But in this case, I don't know if it was just the way that she was doing her breathing deliberately, but it just didn't sound like she had quite as much power in this. But then when we got through to the chorus and she got to hold some notes, you could really feel more of it then. So there was a slight tinge, not really bad, because like I said, I actually really like her voice, and the more I hear it, I'm enjoying her style of singing. But I just felt like maybe they should have gone round and recorded that a couple more times, or I don't know, maybe they did. Maybe they should have looked at the approach, because it just didn't sound like she had as much power in this song as the last one, and at the same time she sounded a little bit short of air. this is the sort of thing. I mean, I would argue with some other people. If any of you saw my interview with my producer slash mentor, the long-standing musical name Steve Gilmore, he is a very great believer in recording everything from beginning to end. I'm more of the modern belief that if you can get something by recording little parts of a song and dropping them in, then you should. And I think maybe with this, recording it a couple of lines at a time maybe wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. But I don't know. I'm just sort of thinking about that. Like I say, I don't know what they actually did, so they might have already maximised the potential of it. It's just that, like I say, we already had established what a powerful voice she had, and it just didn't come across as much to me in this one. The other thing as well, like I say, I'm kind of aware that we're now 2 of 3 songs in. Bridges don't seem to be their thing, which is a shame, because I think with a band like this who seem to be able to be quite creative with certain aspects of their writing, it would be nice to hear them go for like a big dramatic bridge. Because, this is one thing that these type of like big dramatic hyperbolic hard rocking metal style bands have often is the ability to deliver really over the top dramatic and brilliant bridges that throw you into the last chorus, or just sort of give everything a sense of drama. I think I mentioned this in the previous review. Obviously you're watching these all at the same time presumably, but I did the previous review like a good couple of months ago. I think I made the reference to there's a similar hyperbolic quality to the Chuck album by Sum 41, where they go for these kind of like octave solos, and there's a lot of this sort of dramatic, hyperbolic, almost theatrical style sort of metal, that style of metal being done. There's probably a word for it that I don't know. There's a song in particular, now I've referenced it twice, I might as well mention there's a song in particular, I think it was a song called 88, which is towards the end of that album. I would check it out for an idea of what I'm saying in this sense, but the idea that if you're going to do something like this, you can actually be really overdramatic and have a really sort of drawn out, insane, long bridge, because the whole thing is that you're being hyperbolic. With this, we had 2 guitar solos. They were good guitar solos, but what was happening underneath, again, it's not like the other instrument that's just kept on going with what was already being played to support the solo, which is very much in line with the 1960s style of rock and roll, or 50s as well. So I would have liked if they had their other instruments, when they went into what was going to be a guitar solo, everyone else has said, okay, well, we're going to write something different to support the guitar solo rather than just sort of carrying on as they were. And then when that finished, you went into the heavy bit, but the heavy bit, it felt like, it went sort of very stabby, and you felt like, okay, you can go crazy now. This is where you can throw something in. Maybe that's what they should have actually been doing the solo over, that second part of the bridge. But it's kind of didn't go anywhere. It just kind of like went into that, and then, oh, bump, we're into the last chorus again. And like I say, you can never be unhappy about hearing the chorus that this song has. It's a really good chorus, but it just felt a little bit like, okay, maybe there was a little bit more going on in the bridge here than in Ignite, but it felt like, again, there was a feeling that there was a lot of potential left on the table that wasn't fully exploited. So yeah, like I said, I get the feeling that I personally feel that these guys are so good in some areas that I feel some things, and I think a lot of it is in the bridge, and I would refine my point now to, like I was saying already a couple of times in this review, but I'll say it once more. A group like this who have that kind of hyperbolic, dramatic, thumping metal feel, they have basically in their style a free pass to go a bit insane and do something over the top, and it feels like they have the talent to do that as well musically, and even writing, and yet they don't. So maybe this is something they do more on album tracks, but I just feel like these songs could have had a free pass to go a little bit more crazy in the bridge than they actually did. Still, nonetheless, like I say, really good. I enjoyed that. I would definitely listen to that again. If I was in the mood for something heavy, that would be one I'd enjoy. I think I enjoyed that more than Ignite, actually, so good step up there. It was a little bit more playful. It had a little bit more insanity to it, but I think these guys have still got more in the tank. I think they got more that they could deliver. In terms of insanity, and I think they've got every right to. So, good stuff. I'm really enjoying this, like I said, a lot more than I thought I was going to. As always, get in the comments, tell me what you guys think. I have got my next song by them lined up for a listen. That will be Dear Bride, so I'll probably review that in a couple of months. But like I say, you're watching this all at the same time, so you're gonna see me slowly aging over the course of one day. So anyway, as always, get in there, tell me what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this, and remember that if you want to get into more conversations with us, suggest more things, we got like so much stuff linked in the description below, like our Reddit, our Discord. There's loads of conversation going on with Discord. Great places to suggest new music for the channel on the Reddit, and open up cool little topics for discussion. There's the Facebook, the Twitter, and as always the Patreon, because you guys keep us going. Seriously, massive thank you to our Patreon supporters, and a big thank you to you. Thank you very much for making it through to the end of this video. So until I see you in Japan very soon for the next one of these, probably when you watch the Dear Bride video, hopefully. For now, from Japan, ciao ciao.